transfer from Ole Miss. Will take one just inside. To Bergeron, who caught her at a lot of those practices.
That's right, and her curveball will be her pitch that she uses the most, but it's her changeup that has the highest whiff rate. She'll also work in more of a drop ball and rise ball. She is just a totally different looking pitcher in terms of her pitch usage than at LSU.
Bergeron pops one out of play, and it's 2-2 in this matchup of former Battery mates. Really breakout seasons for both. Bergeron with an OPS of 1142. Her on-base percentage right now will be the 6th best in a single season in the history of LSU softball. 2-2. Another changeup and froze her. Raylan Chafin with a couple of strikeouts. A perfect first. Sacco playing in her 223rd college. As the first bit of contact against Huebner today. The lineup is doing that on-base percentage right there would be the best in a single season in LSU history. And a 2-0 count. Delaney Everett, Mississippi.
Is usually so sure-handed, but the ball rolled up the heel of her glove. She flipped it to herself and then threw on the run. That split second is the difference between Lassiter being safe and out. That toss to herself to get her grip and throw is why Lassiter was safe at first base. And you said it, great base running by Maddox McKee. This team has speed. They like to use it to take extra 60 feet and to get down the line to first base.
So 2 two-out runs after the strikeout of Coffey, after Chafin got to 2 strikes on Lassiter. And Bergeron will bat, the 9th LSU hitter of the inning. That's ruled that Lassiter play to be an infield single. No error has been charged on the play. Get out your whiteout if you're keeping score at home. And LSU has now seen 41 pitches in the inning. They have made Chafin work after a 10-pitch breeze of a first.
Well, and Kylie Edwards likes to play really deep, too, in her positioning. So when that soft hit ground ball off of Lassiter's bat challenged her, she had to come a long way. And she's quick, Lassiter is quick, but really everything had to be played perfectly based off of how deep she likes to play, almost standing in the grass.
One-two pitch will end it. Chafin strikes out 3 in the inning. In our nightcap later today. Mississippi State, a team that can certainly swing its way back into a game. They're going to have to. After a 4-run inning, 3 hits, 2 of them infield hits, 2 walks, a hit batter, and that 4-run rally in the second. Now Jaden Huebner with a big lead. And she's behind the freshman Morgan Stiles. Stiles, then Kylie Edwards looking to atone for the misplay on the ground ball that was ruled an infield single, and then Morgan Bernardini, middle of the Mississippi State order. And 3-0 on Stiles, who's had quite the freshman year, even better in SEC play than she was in the non-conference. Take a strike on 3-1.
That was a long half inning. Jaden Huebner was sitting in the dugout. So it can take a little while to get back into your rhythm, into your groove again.
That is another pitch that wasn't anywhere near Bergeron's glove, but still got the outer edge of the strike zone. So 3 full counts in the first 4 batters of the game. And Stiles stays alive.
Yeah, it seems that when Huebner misses, it's that well low and outside pitch to a right-handed hitter where she's trying to bring her curveball inside to them and come across her body, but it's her arm speed just kind of slowing down at her hip and getting trapped.
3-2, got her. 3 called strikes, and Huebner's punched out in the first 4.
All of the strikes were on the same corner, outside corner, as Bergeron is set up inside, reaches across her body to still frame that pitch up and stick it. Huebner worked all the way back from a 3-0 count on that one.
Another called strike around the outside corner to Kylie Edwards. Sophomore from the state of Indiana, Kylie Edwards, a second-year starter. He's another player who's improved dramatically for Mississippi State this year. You could say that about so many players in their lineup. A couple of players who barely played. You got the freshman in Styles, Sacco, a second-year transfer. The first ball put in play is pretty routine for Lassiter.
And these two teams did not face each other in the regular season, which always makes, I think, for a little bit different of a dynamic because you have such a long SEC season where you have 8 weekends against different opponents, and then you get to the SEC tournament, and sometimes you play the same people that you've already played in the regular season, and sometimes you get to you face somebody fresh. And for Jaden Huebner, this is her first time as a freshman to be seen by Mississippi State, as she's not pitched against them in her career.
Throwing with great pace and spin here. Strike 1 to Morgan Bernardini. Another breakout player for Mississippi State. Bernardini had only 18 plate appearances in her first 2 seasons. Mississippi State facing a 4-0 deficit against Beth Torina's Tigers. We're up and down in conference play. Only 8th in ERA in SEC games. They had the 11th best walk rate out of 15 teams. Only the 10th best strikeout rate in conference play. Berzon struggled a bit in conference play. Beth Torina said she's been banged up. Huebner has been up and down. But she's quite up so far today. 6 batters faced, 6 of them retired, and a shutdown second for the LSU lefty. That's on all of them. That's a foul ball against Ella Wesolowski.
The Macy Bergeron got hit with that foul ball. Tell she's definitely in some pain after that. Look at that rise ball, jumping well over Wesolowski's eyes. But you know what makes Jaden Huebner again so unique? Of course, she comes from the left-hand side, but we're used to seeing LSU pitchers be 5'11", 6 foot, 6'1", really tall. She's just about 5'6". And so for her, she has a different stature. She's definitely a strong, fit pitcher, but not a tall pitcher like we're used to seeing in the circle for LSU, but she still has such a long stride. Produce more up at the top of the zone, facing rise ball pitchers, knowing that in SEC play that they're going to face a lot of rise balls. 3 pillars of effort, execution, and toughness.
Move her entire body over the outside corner at some point. Make it easier on herself.
But think about the reaction.
It's
right?
amazing
that it takes for her to catch 70 miles an hour and react completely across her body. Sees the pitch out of the hand and has to figure out where it's going to go. Is it going to be a spot that she hits, or is it going to be a pitch that's well out of the strike zone?
Beth Torina told us we think she's an All-American, Bergeron, because everything she does And by the way, Macy's also been clocked at up to 77 miles per hour throwing. Obviously, only Sacco's had a chance to attempt to steal against her, and she hasn't thought about it. 2-2 fouled away by Morgan Stiles, who struck out looking back in the second.
I also think that Jane Huebner has unique mechanics with her glove hand, something that I noticed right away when I saw her pitching back in February. Her glove hand has a tendency to stay up a little bit and not pull down at the same timing that you usually see. It's very different and unique, and as a hitter, you're so used to one rhythm and one movement from a pitcher, but look at her glove hand in particular. She'll kind of keep it up instead of pull it down and kind of works against it. That's a very unique movement that you don't see from a ton of pitchers across the country.
Edwards just runs out of room. So why don't you see that from a ton of pitchers?
Usually, and this is how I always liked it too, you wanted both of your arms to kind of mirror each other. When your throwing hand is going up, your glove hand is going up. And when your throwing hand is coming down to your release, your glove hand is coming down. They kind of are symmetrical together. And this works for her. Other pitching coaches will teach for a glove hand to kind of stay up, almost like the same kind of glove hand that you would use if you were throwing overhand. She kind of keeps hers up and then pulls it down with a little kind of relaxed delay.
He's trying to get rid of Stiles here, who's now fouled off 5 two-strike pitches. Is about to see an 11th in this sequence. Yet another 3-2. Put in the air to center field. Lassiter with a relaxed delay before retrieving it. Samantha Ricketts joins Taylor when we come up. Her Bulldogs have some work to do. Probably in right now, but they've got the Big 12 tournament ahead of them. That's not a guarantee. Some teams here in the SEC. You mentioned Mississippi State, Ole Miss, who won yesterday. Probably going to be on the road, though they could make some noise here. Georgia, who we'll see next. There are going to be some real spoilers that are not nationally seeded lying in the weeds this year. Strike 2, Leno, 2-2.
As well as some mid-majors that are very strong as well. I mean, FAU has a pitcher that just threw a perfect game last weekend, a 7-inning perfect game against Tulsa. Grand Canyon, a great mid-major program as well. So, I mean, regionals are just going to be a little wacky.
Grand Canyon just topped into our rankings this week, number 24. Renault swings over the top of a changeup. There's a scoreless 5th for Chafin. And the Bulldogs have been completely stymied by the left arm of Jaden Huebner. Out to the bullpen, you see Sydney Berzon pick up that foul ball. And if things get a little squirrely, it's pretty nice to have a 2-time All-American lying in wait.
Yeah, it's nice to have her on the season with the freshman who didn't have a lot of experience before this season started. I mean, those two, righty-lefty, down, up, they make for such a hard combination to prepare for whoever they're going to face in the NCAA tournament.
Well, it would be quite ideal for Beth Arena if Jaden Huebner can pitch her way through the rest of this game. And then LSU could have a rested Sydney Berzon tomorrow, because the winner of this game gets Oklahoma, the champions of the regular season. Kylie Edwards to Lassiter in center for a routine first out. There's really been nothing hit that hard against Jaden Huebner. 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 Central tomorrow. Oklahoma won the regular season title in its first year in the SEC, despite losing 3 series. We'll get the winner of this game. And you can look at that Oklahoma team in 2 ways, and maybe both are true. One is that they are certainly the most vulnerable they've been in years. They're locked in, they're ready to scout. They've lost 3 series. Actually lost multiple games in the regular season. The other way you can look at the game. And that's going to stand because there's no review.
Hey, Tori Vidalis, you're going to be teammates with Raylan Chafin and Sierra Sacco potentially if they choose to go on and be a part of the Talons with the AUSL. How excited are you to be potential teammates with Chafin and Sacco?
I am so stoked. I mean, obviously following them throughout their career and seeing the growth throughout their
Their old team down 5-0. So ball one to Danica Coffey. Well, the only two LSU players not to reach base are Coffey and Bergeron, the 1 and 3 hitters. Both potential all-SEC players. But Danica in the throes of a fantastic year. Reached base 47 out of 53 games. And Beth Torena said she was never even phased by the torn ACL. She attacked her recovery. She was ahead of schedule. It was just another thing to her. And got that golden ticket 2 weekends ago. Emotional before the game, on senior day, her number on the grass, and then this was the reaction after Jenny Finch told her she'd be going to play professionally in the AUSL, the new Athletes Unlimited softball league format with the golden tickets this year. 12 players drafted into the league.
And she's slapping here, and something that she told me before she got the golden ticket, because I asked her what's next, and the very first thing that she said was that she wanted a golden ticket. But she's like, you know, everybody likes big home run hitters, and that's not me, so I'm realistic. But I do have a little bit more power this year in executing my game a little bit better.
Puts one in the air here to left. There's a little more power, but needed a little more than a little more.
A couple of draftees to the AUSL.
That's right. Bree was the second pick. So
LSU is challenging the call of runner interference at second base. This play is under further review.
Oh, so the call is not out. The call's runner out on the force. It's out on runner interference. She's going to be out at the throw.
Yeah, I'm kind of confused with what he was saying. If it's runner interference by Lassiter, I'm just a little bit confused at what is actually being looked at.
If the call's runner interference, as Edwards making a throw, that could be a double
After
play.
review, the ruling on the field is upheld. There was no interference.
So Jaden Ebner, who's thrown 6 innings of one-hit ball, is out in the bullpen. Just getting some more work in next to Berzon.
You know, that was something that I never really did, go to the bullpen and pitch in the middle of the game while I was pitching, actually in the game while my team was hitting. But it's something that I learned to do when something felt a little bit off or my team had a longer inning. I never did that in travel ball or high school. I mean, it had to be like a 45-minute inning in high school offensively for me to go down there and throw. I just didn't think about it. And then when I became a freshman and I struggled in an inning or two, Coach Evans, my head coach at Texas A&M, was like, hey, are you going to go throw in the bullpen and try to figure out that one pitch that isn't working for you? And I was like, oh, that's an option? Yeah, I'll go down there. Made a big difference. So just to go down there and either stay loose or work on a mechanic or a pitch, just to get some reps in before you'd go back out into the game.
Interesting part of that is she's coming off a 1-2-3-6, so it doesn't look like to the naked eye there's much she needs to work at. And apparently she's satisfied now.
Yeah, she's been pitching great.
Leno, ground ball back to Everett. We'll see if Jaden Hebner can finish off this shutout. Set up a date with Oklahoma for LSU. Her freshman career. And she's 3 outs away from sending LSU into the quarterfinals against #1 Oklahoma. Mississippi State, which has 1 hit and 2 base runners, needs to some way, somehow find 5 runs, or else their chances at hosting a regional are probably going to fall apart. They're still a very dangerous team. Be 37-17 with a loss. One home run away from tying the school record. There's a lot to like about this group, but they've been stymied today. That's way upstairs to Jessie Blaine, who has struck out twice.
You just see Jaden Heavner just work throughout this season, and Beth Torina said about her that she's getting better all the time. She's had huge improvements. And even looking at, her month-by-month batting average against, when she started this year, opponents only hit in February 129 off of her, 161 in March. And then honestly, April was a little bit rough for her. But May, she's figured it out. Coming into this game, opponents hitting just 138 off of her this month, and that is only going to lower off of her outing today.
Second in the SEC in hits allowed per 7. Now 112 innings, 64 hits against on the year. And again, the big number today, no walks. 72 walks this season in those 112 innings. 25 hit batters. One hit batter, no walks against a very patient and powerful. Got to be more than enough. And it's a big win for LSU.